Hey everyone, welcome to Final Fantasy. I teased this LP in, yeah, that was like almost a year ago now. There is very big reasons why I haven't actually gotten to this yet. A lot of them are technical reasons, but I did record like about 10 episodes of this way before I even posted that, hey, I'm doing the LP. And then some stuff came up and it just never happened. So, I am going to do my best to set up exactly how I had it before. I had a black mage as the starting position. I had a red mage. Basically, I rolled all these out. I had a warrior as my third, and then the last one was a thief. So I pretty much had like a sort of pseudo-balanced party, except in a random order. I actually rolled these out. Like I used the dice and all that. Yeah, I don't want to roll it again because I actually liked my setup. But I am gonna name all my characters the exact same as I had them before. I am naming them pretty much exactly. There's me, there's my good supporting, sometimes condescending friend Daryl. My usual art, basically I have two artist friends that help me out a lot for a lot of my LPs and thumbnails and stuff, which I'm gonna try to do a little better to get on it this year. It's just that stuff has come up and then I kind of had to do like a lot of LPs where I just never really got the artwork from them and stuff, but yeah. So they're it's basically me and a lot of my supporting crew. That is essentially how my party is set. So we have me as the black mage, my friend Daryl as the red mage, my spider friend Roach as the warrior, and my artist friend as a thief. There's no real reasons why any of these characters are what they are. It's just that that's how I rolled it way back then. So enough wasting time, I am going to get started. Let's get in that. The world lies, shrouded in darkness. The winds die. The seas rage, somehow, despite not having wind. And the earth decays by changing its palette colors. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear. And in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. All right, so we are in. We start out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, honestly. So we are standing outside of a town called Cornelia. Not to scale in any way, shape, or form. But if you want to find out what's going on, it's our best bet to actually head to the castle and just go right on in. So if we head upwards in this place, the king is searching for the prophecy's warriors of light. Those crystals! You must see the king at once! Welcome, travelers. I am told you carry crystals. Is this true? Boop! It's just as Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. We are holding crystal shards. Not like we just mined them or anything. Yet they stand before us with the crystals. Thank you. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. Crystal Bears, there is a task I would ask of you. Will you not rescue my daughter, Sarah? Garland, a knight once in His Majesty's service has abducted Princess Sarah. I ask for your aid and in his name of the Majesty, the King of Cornelia. Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Of course, we did attempt to save the princess ourselves. No, you didn't. But Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him. So let's just ask these 4 random passerbys holding crystals. I have heard that you wish to journey to the continent to our north. How? When and how? The bridge leading north was lost long ago, making passage impossible. If you can rescue Sarah, I will have the bridge rebuilt as a sign of my gratitude. Go now, Warriors of Light, and do not fail me. Putting a lot of hope in us. But yes, we need to... Okay, thank you. The dancing girl in town knows many odd bits of information. If you stray from your path, try talking to her. She may know something that could put you back on course. Basically, they're saying that she is a tutorial. If you have no idea what you're doing, go there. The Warriors of Light have come at last. How long have we waited for this day to come? Garland is no longer the man I once knew. I beg of you, please return my daughter to me quickly. Yes, as you can tell, I am playing the PSP version of this game. There has been a lot of issues with me playing this version of the game. I once played it on the PSP, but the footage was rather terrible. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should try the GBA version of the game. And I was like, okay, well, it's a pretty okay version of the game, but this version has the most stuff in it. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's just do this version instead. But yeah, this is the town of Cornelia, as you can tell. So can you get out of my way, please? We're already dealing with the problem with a lot of the first Final Fantasy games. So we have 500 gil to our name. Where is the item shop? There you are. I walked right by it. So we need to get equipped. All right, so we have the nunchaku, the knife, the staff, the rapier, and the hammer. So, as it seems pretty obvious, we have a bunch of different weapons here. So I'm gonna start off with buying the knife, which it looks like I already have, so it doesn't really matter if I bother with that, but we do have the rapier, so I'm gonna equip that on our red mage. The hammer would be good for doing extra attacks, so that's actually a good start for our warrior. And then the rapier or the knife would be good choices for a thief, either or. But in this case, we should be good to go with those, so we're just gonna move on. We don't have any like big options here. I already have the knife, so we don't need to worry about that. You have the rapier, and actually, you have the hammer. What are you doing? Yes, basically what's going to happen is that this weapon is it's better than the knife that he had equipped. So it's not a big deal there, but it deals less in accuracy, pretty much. So you can just, actually wait, yeah, it has better accuracy. No, blah, blah, blah. It's better accuracy, but way less attack. So it's a little bit of a trade-off depending on if you just want more attack or whatever. There's really no need to bother with the hammer if you don't really need it because of the fact that you get a drop in accuracy. But it's essentially a little bit of an optimal solution, and then you can keep your knives if you need them. But then you have the other store, which we have the leather armor and the chainmail. So we are going to go for the chainmail for the warrior, and we can put the chainmail on red mage as well, but it's kind of expensive, so let me check out the stat differences on that one. So instead of clothes, if we put on leather armor, it just kind of increases it by 3, but lowers the evasion. So it's a little bit of a give or take for that. And then the chainmail is obviously a way better difference. And then all we have is kind of lowering the evasion or etc. It depends because again, chainmail is a little bit more bulkier. So we're good there. And then we can just sell all our junk that we don't need. Well, I'm gonna keep the knives as just in case. The clothes are a little bit of a no. So we are pretty much all set with that. Of course, we are not completely all set yet because I have 2 spellcasters. So we're gonna head over to these shops. The one on the right is for white mage, red mage, and the one on the left is for black mage and red mage. Red mage kind of is a mishmash of both of them. So you're gonna sit there and be going through whatever. But yes, as I mentioned, I am playing the PSP version of this game. There is a 3DS port of this game as well. The 3DS port is in Japanese, so it's a little bit of a issue there. So doing stuff on the 3DS port is a little bit, oh yeah, duh, I can't equip Dia. So we're good there. So we got Cure, Dia, Protect, and Blink. Protect is obviously the next best one I could do. Pretty much you only could equip 3 spells of a type. And I am going to give myself Fire. We have Sleep, Focus, and Thunder. So let's see. Lowers evasion and puts all foes asleep. Sleep is a good, maybe not so much for the Black Mage, but it gives options, per se. Lowering evasion, I'm not really too worried about that, but pretty much give Thunder. It's not really much you can do. But yeah, that kind of sets up our magic. But we also can discard it if we don't want it. If we go to our magic menu, we can just go to discard on the right here and then just discard it. So yes, there's the GBA version, there's the PSP version, there's the PS1 version of the game, which the PS1 version of the game isn't really a handheld, so it kind of doesn't really qualify for my list. But then there's the mobile port. The mobile port is so stupidly fast that is like, it's not worth the time or the effort to actually do. So I am not even gonna bother there. Plus it's also missing the PSP dungeons as well. So yeah, now that we are pretty much equipped, we're heading off to go face Garland. The thing is though, we have just started, so we don't really have much in terms of levels, stats, whatever. I recommend, since this is an older game, the name of the game is grinding. Really big grinding. So, what you're gonna be doing more than half the time is battles, battles, battles. So I recommend about level 3 before you continue on, because level 3 is a good stopping point. So if you want to be safe about it, you can stay near Cornelia and then just kind of sit there and battle constantly. There isn't really much you need to do past just hitting the X button in the beginning, because there isn't really a need to go any further than that. The only one that might do less damage is me, specifically, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. I just got a level up. I just got 18 MP and 1 HP. That is a terrible level up, but the agility's nice. Wow, okay. That was like a completely different shift. Wow, everyone is getting the strength. Okay. I got the agility, so that's fine, but everything else would be good too. Problem is, stat gains are a little bit of a hit or miss as well. I think it kind of is a sort of random deal. Sorta, but not really. It kind of like, it gives you like the stat buffs as you go. But yeah, I don't really have any more magic, so I'm just gonna sit here and just tap the X button still. And get rid of these goblins. And there we go. I'm still the weakest of the party. But that's not too big of a deal this early on, especially this early on. So, party formation, as you may tell, and some people are probably sitting there like about the comments like, why does he have a black mage in the front? I'm like, I don't care. The party lineup is exactly how you would put it. It doesn't really matter. Basically how it works is that the one that's in the top slot is more than likely gonna get attacked more often than not. They are, I think, about 50% chance or something like that of them getting hit. Are like a half rating, like they might go to that. And then the second slot, I think, is like a 1/4 chance. And then the other two down are pretty much 1/8. So it's a little bit iffy. Honestly, I never really noticed since it still has a random probability anyway. It's just that more likely than not, your first party member is gonna get attacked a lot. Which is why most people put the warrior in the front, because that's how most people would do it. They'll like sit there and just like, I'm just gonna do the fighting first. And it's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I rolled this out originally and that's what I went with, and I'm gonna stick with it. And if at any point I need to do it at all, I can switch my formation up. I'm not going to if I don't need to, since it's a waste of time, but the option is there. I just can't do that right now because I'm in a battle and I'm just gonna take care of the battle really quick. All right, still no level up, but yes, this is our menu that we're dealing with here. We have absolutely nothing. I'm going to make sure to buy potions when I get more money. Just right now, I'm not going to do that. Our next menu is the magic one, as I've mentioned before. The equipment screen is the third one, which has optimal in the later versions of the game. And then you can just check your status and see what actually is leveling up and what's not. It's still a little bit of a hit or miss depending on what they get when they level up. So it's best to keep their HP high so you don't diverge the group entirely. Because if someone's dead, they're not going to get experience. But again, there's the formation button, so if I wanted to say like switch them around, I can. It's not that big of a deal there. And then the configuration screen, I'm actually going to swap this too fast. Everything else is just controls, window color if you want to do anything with that, which I actually am just gonna have it be a solid window because it's better. And I don't know, it's just easier to read. And then the bestiary, or the bestiary, however you like to say it, I call it the bestiary, which just kind of just shows every enemy that you fought in the game, which is very helpful if you have been in the game before because it just shows you everything you need to know. Because unlike the later games in the series, you don't have a scan yet, so you kind of just need to know how much health things have. So let's get that final level up. I am going to actually make sure I don't die. So that is a good start towards me leveling up because it's not fun having a staggered leveled up system. I mean, it's going to happen. No matter what, it's going to happen. There's gonna be a point where I just die. And there's gonna be a point where somebody else just dies and then the level ups are gonna go all over the place. That's how the first game is. It's a complete custom experience. Because whatever classes you want, you're gonna get. Why am I getting no HP? Why? I'm going to need a good level up after that because that is still terrible. Wow. That just means my later level ups, I'm gonna start having some good. But for now, I'm not going to get any good, which stinks because I'm just gonna die really quickly now. Which means I might want to grind to at least level 4 and hopefully I get more experience from that because right now it's a little bit of an iffy. So I'm gonna get 3 potions. We have antidotes as well, which just cures poison. Maybe 1, it's not too special on that. Phoenix Downs are a new inclusion for the later versions of the game. Normally you have this place where you gotta like revive your people or go to inns, things like that. But they like, oh, let's just put it in so you have it. And you can revive people now without having like run away. But I'm also going to use, buy some sleeping bags as well so I don't have to necessarily keep running to town. And now that I did that, I don't think I have enough to afford the inn. I don't remember how much the inn is off the top of my head. It's 30 gil. I need to do 1 battle at least. So that's fun. But yeah, there is points where you can get stuck with money by not having any money. So you can just sell stuff, do whatever. I technically could have just sold my knives and would have been fine. But it doesn't really matter. Only thing that stinks about it is the fact that I gotta technically get another level up if I want to have a little bit of safety. Problem is that the experience rate is getting a little bit iffy towards doing any of that. So I might need to start moving on and fight better things. But also I need to heal. Because the goblins aren't doing it for me anymore. They're not giving me enough experience. Also, I just did less than what it takes to kill one of them, which means I'm gonna suffer some damage before anything can happen. More agility buffs would be nice though, because that means that characters can go faster. But yes, I should explain that while I'm at it. Strength is obvious. Strength is how much damage you do when you attack. Agility is your speed. Intelligence is your like magic stat and how much damage you do there. Stamina basically determines the growth rate of your other stats. In later games, it's mainly for HP and vitality growth as well, but in the first game, it's just for your other stats. And then luck is pretty much like your RNG manipulation, sorta. A little iffy on that one. Pretty much it just determines if your character is going to get attacked or not, things like that. But yeah, looks like we're going to keep getting some more enemies. So I am probably just going to hit the next level. It's going to take me a little bit of time, so let me just do a quick little wipe through battles. I'm fighting nothing but goblins this early on, so it's not going to be a terrible loss. So now that I hit level 4 and thankfully got better stats out of it, which is nice. Pretty much my stamina stinks as a black mage for the start, so my stats aren't going to go up pretty high. Same with red mage and warrior, and warriors has better stamina towards like getting HP and stuff like that, which ironically enough, red mage has the highest at the moment, but you know, that's just how things be. So let's just make a little quick save, thank you. So yes, as we head on out, I'm probably going to get into another battle on the way there, which will allow me to give you a little bit of an explanation as well. For, like, attacking, when you're attacking things, in, like, any port before, like, any of the original version of the game, when you attack something and it gets killed, if someone else is targeted, like, prioritized to attack that thing, they would instantly miss. Pretty much most versions onward added a feature to where when you attack, you just kind of attack the next thing versus like if you killed something. So it's like, oh, it's dead, so I'll just move on to the next thing and kill it. Whereas MP, on the other hand, pretty much, I think the GBA version onward added the typical MP system. So whenever you level up, you just get MP as well. Usually it kind of meters out here and there, more red mage, black mage, whoever needs the MP the most, they pretty much get it usually. Usually is a key word. But the original versions had what was essentially just a number count. So while you can only equip 3 magics per level slot, which in this case we already have level 1 magic and stuff, we only would be able to use it a certain amount of times until we get higher level ups in general. So eventually we'll start being able to use level 1 magic insanely, like a lot. So at the moment, it's a more of a preference thing. Which one do you like more? Do you like the point system towards using magic? Basically, essentially, spell slots in D&D. If you ever play D&D, it's the exact same system where you have a number of times where you can actually use something versus having just like, oh, I'm gonna cast this for 10. It's neither here nor there. I'm getting a little bit finicky on my HP level, but I should be okay. But yeah, this battle, since it's just goblins, I can explain another feature. Why do I keep attacking the first one with my black mage? Because if I go to attack the back row at all, I actually do less damage until I get rid of the row in front. So pretty much everybody else that's attacking the back row is going to do less damage, but since they do more damage than my black mage regardless, they're just gonna kill everything, which is why I have black mage attacking the front, because more than likely he'll do enough damage to kill it. If he attacks anything in the back row before that, more than likely he's not going to be able to. So yes, here is the Chaos Shrine. It's a little bit iffy on my health. I don't know if I want to just use a cure on that. I'm probably just gonna use a cure on that, since it costs about 3 to cure. It's not that big of a deal. So, the Chaos Shrine. It looks like a pretty big map. There's not really much you can do here yet, so just head directly to the left, and the only real thing you can do is just get a chest in this one room over here. But we're fighting some new enemies, which are kind of tough, so at least thankfully it's only one. So it's probably going to die before it could even do anything, which is nice, because that just means I saved MP. Does give a lot more experience though, so this is a better place to grind than fighting goblins in the field. But the leather cap. Anybody that doesn't have chainmail, which in this case usually the first person in your party, give them the leather cap. They are going to need the extra stats. So yeah, front party member is getting the leather cap. The rest of everything, not really too worth it yet. Mainly because you can't really get in the doors yet, they're locked. So there's no real reason to sit there and just wander around and be willy-nilly going all over. All right, so we took care of that really quickly. So we are actually going to go face Garland if I can stop getting in battles. Hello, this is gonna be a problem. I am going to actually do a fire spell and hope that everybody else can take care of everything. This is a rather dangerous setup in the beginning. Mainly because they are neither here nor there, but it is a lot of enemies. The more enemies on screen, the more damage you do. That's pretty much how it is. But yeah, I just know that my black mage is really weak at the moment, and I can't really do much of anything about that. So we're just going to head off and face Garland. The king will have no choice but to exchange the kingdom for his daughter's life. Cornelia will be mine. Who's there? The king's lapdogs. Do you have any idea who you're messing with? You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? Very well. I, Garland, will knock you all down! I am so glad they kept that. They attempted to like change it, and then everyone's like, no, I liked that line better. So yes, Garland, the first boss. He is pretty tanky, has a lot of health for the beginning, about 200. He pretty much has the stats of all your characters. So whereas the king sent an army off to actually go do everything that you needed to do, yeah, we're gonna take care of it, no problem. So we're just gonna get started. I am going to do as much damage as possible. Mainly because my spellcasters will be doing most of the damage. So as you can tell, fire is a pretty good one. But also, as you can tell, things hurt. So I need to cure. It's kind of a boon because I can do a lot more damage as a black mage, but at the same time, it hurts a lot because of the fact that first slot, stop complaining people, I'm not changing that. So I am actually going to save my life a little bit and put protect, mainly because why not? I have extra magics, might so as well use them, but it doesn't really matter, he's dead. He only had around 212 health, I think it was off the top of my head, I don't remember. But I'm gonna have all the stats appear on the screen before every battle anyway. Well, great, we're having that happen still. Oh, the MP is fine. Ha! Now you know how it feels. This is terrible level ups. Wow. You've come to save me? I don't know how I could ever thank you. I am Sarah, Princess of Cornelia. That's the first time anyone's ever defeated Garland. It's not that tough. You must allow me to show my gratitude. Please accompany me to Castle Cornelia. Thank you for returning my daughter to my side. There can be no doubt that you are the warriors of light from Lucan's prophecy. You should hear the prophecy in its entirety. Ahem, if I may. When darkness veils the world, full warriors of light shall come. If they cannot gather the shards of light, the darkness will consume all. The 4 crystals will never shine again. Now that I hear that a crystal can be found on a continent to our north. Restoring light to the crystals is our only hope of ridding the world of the monsters which plague it. I will have the bridge to the north rebuilt, as I promised. I pray that you succeed in restoring light to the 4 crystals, and to the world. So yes, we saved Princess Sarah. The loot has been entrusted to the princesses of Cornelia for many generations. When he abducted me, Garland took this loot for as well. I want you to have it. It may aid you in your journey. It's good that we talked to her now because we would have to come all the way back here to get that later, and it's not a fun time to do. But yes, we got the loot, which is going to be useful, and it's going to be in our key items because it's not going to be taking up an item slot, but also the text is stupid huge as well when you go into that menu, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But yes, we hit level 5 and we are all set. So we're going to leave the castle. And have them rebuild the drawbridge for us. Orders from His Majesty. We're to do our part to fulfill Lucan's prophecy. Let's wave as fast as we can. We'll make this bridge go longer and longer if we just keep waving. I love that there's no details in these sprites at all. I mean, they could have easily had the sprites be like sideways and doing like a little ding, ding, ding animation instead of wave, 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 wave. What does this bridge have to do with the prophecy? I don't know. The Warriors of Light are here. They're here in Cornelia. Basically, they're building the drawbridge so they can be like, get out of here and do your thing. But yes, we are all set. The bridge is all good to go. I am going to make sure I am all set with items and stuff and heal. That would be a good. But also, it looks like we have a new face in town as well. So I'm gonna go there after I sleep at the inn and talk to them. So every NPC in Final Fantasy are pretty much just NPCs that kind of give you information about things. Because back then, there wasn't really much to go on. Pretty much everything that you learned from these games were from NPCs in general. Good. It's good to know that you are dotting. Yes, this is, I am not, no. We're good there. Let's see, do I need anything in particular? Let me check. Let's see, protect blink, no. Can I get anything else here while I'm at it? I could get focus. I think I'm fine. Everything else at this point is just superfluous and I don't really need it. Can you please? There you go. All right, so let's head on out. Let's begin our adventure.